emailed like notes from other players. But UC Davis Health brings you tonight's matchup between the Whitecaps 2 of Vancouver and the Republic of Sacramento. Good evening and welcome to Papa Murphy's Park. Alongside former MLS veteran Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister. Well, the biggest question for the Sacramento Republic is, can they mirror their play that we have seen in the 3 Open Cup matches? After taking down Real Salt Lake 4-1 Wednesday, the Republic have secured their entry to the round of 16. But in USL play, Kevin, it's been a much different result.
Yeah, at the end of the day, these players need to find ways to get motivated for every game, regardless of Open Cup matches or USL play or whatever it is. So tonight's a great opportunity for them to come out, right this ship, and get 3 points.
Well, let's take a look at what's been the difference here scoring-wise. 3 matches in Open Cup play, 10 goals, 13 goals. In just 13 USL matches. Kevin, what's the difference?
Whatever magic they've discovered in these Open Cup games needs to be recreated tonight or in these league matches. Otherwise, it's going to be a really, really short season for Sacramento.
All right, let's take a look at some of the guys who will be going head-to-head here tonight, the Consolidated Communications matchup. And we begin with Andy Toma, who came over from Portland. 1 goal, 1 assist, and 12 apps. He's really been that key player for Vancouver early on the season. With Danny Barrera out due to suspension, well, it will be James Kiffey who they'll likely look to provide a spark along that left side.
Yeah, Kiffey had a wonderful, wonderful match last Wednesday night. Tonight, Kenny can continue to do that, create off that momentum, and still get involved in the attack and defend as well as he did last week.
He had an assist in U.S. Open Cup play. He's got 2 assists on the USL season. Let's take a look at our UC Davis Health injury report. And again, still on that report is Carlos Rodriguez, and a little thin at that center back position. They'd like to have him back in the 18 when possible, but he will be a slow recovery throughout this season. We've got a good one here in Sacramento. It's a hot night in the capital city. It's the Vancouver Whitecaps 2. It is the Republic and it's right here on the CW 31.
There's a place that brings together teams of world-class problem solvers. Here, they save lives at a moment's notice, restore sight to those who otherwise would not see, empower those facing immobility to live active lives. Through teamwork and bold innovation, they confront the toughest medical challenges to make the world a healthier place. UC Davis Health System.
At Gilmore, Red Carpet Care for your heating and air means we're always looking for special ways to make your service extraordinary. From your first phone call or online appointment to the moment we drive away, Red Carpet Care means we bring our A game every time and work a little harder so your family feels more comfortable and makes you feel like a star. Even when we think no one is watching, because you never know when that Red Carpet Care, you really do get more with Gilmore.
Oh, snap.
Every truck guy has their own way of conveying powerful.
Yeah, boy.
Kind of looks like a monster coming to eat you.
Holy smokes.
That is awesome.
Strong. You got the basic and you got the beefy.
I just think it looks mean.
Incredible.
No way. Getting goosebumps.
Get 17% below MSRP on all Silverado 1500 LT pickups in stock. That's over $8,100 on this Chevy Silverado. See your Northern California Chevy dealer.
Días de lo bueno.
Bethany, ¿por qué estás aquí?
He regresado.
Te dije que nunca volvieras.
Sí, pero he regresado.
What's going on here?
Bethany Ken always wanted to be in a telenovela, but they don't speak Spanish.
So we have to interpret for them when Good Day is over.
That's kind of weird.
Watch Good Day in Spanish using the SAP function on your TV.
Que nunca volvieras.
Sí, pero he regresado.
We are minutes away from kickoff here in Papa Murphy's Park. A 97-degree evening in the capital of California. It's a warm one here as Sacramento and Vancouver getting ready for this one, as are the fans here. Let's take a look at our starting lineups brought to you by US Bank. We begin with the Vancouver Whitecaps 2. The familiar face and Kyle Gregg up top, and also Spencer Ridgey in the box.
Yeah, Kyle Gregg. Sacramento needs to be mindful of him tonight. Could punish Sacramento otherwise if they don't get an eye on him early.
He can be very aggressive, has not scored a goal quite yet this season, but they will call on him to be the leading man in charge of the Whitecaps 2 here in the front 2. Let's take a look at Sacramento now. A couple of changes. Sammy Ochoa back in the starting lineup, and then addition of Christian Cheney getting his second start on the year.
I think it's a huge opportunity for Cheney tonight, really getting a full chance. He's had a game or two so far that he's played in, but if there's ever a chance to solidify yourself, tonight's the night.
Our captains tonight are Sam DeVitt and Emra Clemente, wearing the captain's armband for the first time this season. He is celebrating his 100th appearance in a Republic kit. Let's take a look at our referees tonight. Michael Zapata and our assistant referees Stephen McGonigal, Chris Hutchinson, and the fourth official is Matthew Buckman. Republic in the Old Glory Red, they'll head to the south end of the field. Vancouver in their visiting whites, they'll head to the north end of the field toward the Tower Bridge Battalion. And Kevin, while we have a moment, let's take a look at your Chevy keys to the match.
Keys to the match. We're coming off a great match last Wednesday night here in the Open Cup play, so you got to start strong. I think that's what was one of the really kind of set the tone, set the pace for the game last Wednesday night. Can they continue to do that tonight? The first 15 minutes I think are going to be key tonight. Also, build off that performance they had on Wednesday night. It was one of the better matches we've seen them play probably in the last 18 months, Rob, to be completely honest. So can they build off that, continue how they played last week, and continue to get better and build the momentum going into the summer playoff push? And then finish chances. We talk about it week in and week out. It's so important for Sacramento. They've been doing such a good job at getting themselves in dangerous positions, but haven't been able to finish those chances. So tonight, you got to finish your chances. Take them when you got them. Put the ball in the back of the net, and don't go home regretful, wishing you could have put those chances away.
Well, they've got some pretty big goals coming up from big-time players. Jeremy Hall, Augustine Caceres, each getting a goal in Open Cup play. And what an opportunity for a guy like Jeremy Hall to lead the way here vocally now that Danny Barrera has been suspended because of a late challenge that he went into Dane Kelly in Reno a Saturday ago. A fantastic Open Cup match for Danny Barrera, who scored a goal and 2 assists. How will his shoes be filled here tonight.
Yeah, Danny's been one of those guys that he's just consistently been able to put players in good positions. He's consistently made those players around him better. So tonight I think he's going to be sorely missed. He's just been such an effective force for Sacramento going forward. And finally last Wednesday night was the first time the floodgates opened, so to speak, where Sacramento, Danny's teammates were finally finishing the chances that Danny was setting up for these guys. So he's going to be missed tonight, but it's going to be on a guy like Jeremy Hall, Augustine Caceres. And I tell you what, I think it's just, you mentioned it a minute ago, Christian Cheney. It's a huge opportunity for him to come out here, solidify himself. He's been kind of chirping at Paul a little bit, wishing he's had more run of play over the last 2 to 3 months. Now's your opportunity. You get your chance, come out here, perform, and then you have some validity and some credibility to back up those conversations with Paul.
All right, and also making his first starts as the Republic in June of 2014, Gabe Gissy, the 20-year-old from Liberia, came in as a substitution in last in the U.S. Open Cup match. Here he is tonight, 18 appearances with the Bethlehem Steel a season ago. He's out on that right wing, and typically the place that you would find a guy like Danny Barrera, but it's going to be number 11, Gabe Gissy here tonight. So Sacramento will start things off here. We'll kick toward the north end of the field. It will be Vancouver heading to the south end of the field. We do have a light breeze here tonight, but it is undoubtedly a warm one. The whistle has blown, and we are underway in the capital of California alongside Kevin Goldthwait. I'm Rob McAllister, and here's one of our team members to watch tonight, James Kiffey. Both of these teams just outside of the bubble for the playoff hunt. Sacramento currently tied for 9th place with 15 points. Vancouver with 14 points, a 4-6-2 record after 12 games. And each of these teams with a goal differential of -2. They're going to need to turn things around here if they want to find themselves in the final 8 here. Augustine Caceres, very aggressive as of late. Will he continue his run of play? Big question mark is what he can do here tonight. Moving forward quickly is Nazim Bateman. Bartman to the left side, finding Campbell. Campbell with a loft into the box, and easy play for Evan Newton, who gets his now 5th consecutive start, making his 9th appearances on the season. He's allowed 8 goals and 8 apps before tonight.
Yeah, I think you're finally seeing some consistency with the play of Evan Newton in the goalkeeper position for Sacramento. You see it switch almost game for game between him and Jock, but great little touch there by Gissy.
Gissy's got pace, we know that, on the right side. Going against Andy Thomas, sends a hard cross in back of the net there, and it will, the back post, I should say.
Just all the hard work there. That last little bit, that last pass we talk about consistently. Like to see him just drive that ball across the face, Rob. Head height, find those runners. And once again, we've seen a lot more of Sacramento players involved in the box when they do get it wide to the Gissy or the Blackwoods, if you will, which is a great sight to see when you're going forward. Makes you so much more deadly when you're going up the flanks and you're able to utilize those flanks, but you got to get bodies in the box if you're going to utilize those flanks like Sacramento typically does.
In Vancouver, so hard to know what formation they'll come out. We've seen them in a 4-2-3-1 this year. We've seen them in a 4-3-3. We've seen them in a 3-1-4-2. And Kevin, looks almost like we've got 4 up top tonight. James Kiffey able to cut it off for a moment, slipping in. And now it comes McKendry. McKendry with a good look. He's deep in the box, sends it down low in between the legs of Christian, but Newton able to pick it up. That's a tough ball for Newton there. It looked easy, but when you're right behind your own defender there, it can be challenging at times.
Well, really, especially when you get Chris Christian kind of extending to try to make the block. Leaves his legs wide open, and well done by McKendry finding the wickets there. And it's tough for Evan Newton because he's kind of screened a little bit, but not too challenging, even a shot for him to scoop up. But something, you know, a little tester to Wake. A great ball.
They're moving forward. Gabe Gissy from Elliott Horde. Gissy down low looking for Ochoa. Ochoa not able to get to it in time. Broken up by Sam DeVitt, the captain for this Vancouver club, as Cheney was looking for the rebound as well.
You see Sacramento just not on the same page there. And I think it's probably a product of Gissy not really getting the majority of the run lately. It's hard for guys like Ochoa, Cheney, and even Blackwood to time the runs. They don't necessarily know if Gissy's typically going to take a touch there or hit it first time. And you saw right there, it looks like those runs just hadn't matured yet. And Gissy might need to get his head up a little bit too to see those runs, to see where they're at, and see if he needs to take a touch, or do you whip it in one time? But still, good to see Gissy get involved right now. I think he gives the team such a different look as opposed to when you have the Danny Barrera in, because Danny Barrera loves to tuck in and float kind of in the middle of the pitch, while Gissy will give you more width. Great job by Jeremy Hall stepping in there. Good chance to break here.
You had a little pace as well. Speaking of pace, looking for Tyler Blackwood.
Yeah, and you'll see Gissy. Gissy will stay on the width, stay as wide as he can, and give Sacramento width and speed up and down that right flank. And that's not what Danny Barrera, that's not how Danny Barrera plays. Barrera likes the ball at his feet. He likes to combine with players. But it'll be interesting to see how Gissy can kind of incorporate himself in the team. So far in the first 5-6 minutes here, first 4 minutes, excuse me, really successful so far going forward. 2 chances, 2 services in the box. And that's what you want from your player like Gissy, to get up that flank and just whip balls in the box.
Vancouver with a very young squad working here is McKendry. Down near the touchline, cross back post, good chance for Vancouver, and they put it into the net early on. 5th minute, and they've scored already, and it's Campbell with his 2nd goal of the season.
Yeah, and that's Sacramento, just absolutely. I think that's, once again, we were talking about Gissy. I think Gissy's just kind of caught out a little bit, not necessarily realizing that Campbell's floated to the back post. Just kind of marking space there, Gissy is, and he's just way too late reactive. He needs to be way deeper on that outside, showing and staying on that back post. As Gissy's just essentially marking space right on top of the box, just being more. He's got to be able to figure out a way, and that's the youth of Gissy right there, knowing that you need to pick up. You got some defensive responsibilities as well as that offensive responsibilities of serving balls in the box, but defend the goal first and then go forward. And I think that's the youth of Gissy being shown right there, just not picking up that back post.
In fear of a possible hangover from that big win against Real Salt Lake on Wednesday, Sacramento finding themselves down 1-0 here, and 5 minutes has gone by already. Kevin, how do you snap out of it? It's 97 degrees out here. Vancouver played in 98 degrees in Phoenix last Saturday, so they're used to this as well. You can't even put the weather on this. Everyone's feeling the effects of this. How do you snap out of it?
You know, it's also, you see a little bit of a lull here maybe too. You talked about the hangover from last Wednesday night, like we talked about earlier. It's one of the better performances we've seen by Sacramento probably, the last 12, 18 months, to be completely honest. And still right now in the first 5 minutes, 6 minutes, it seems like there's just some lethargic mentality by Sacramento, where they're not just as sharp as they were. They're not enjoying themselves here in the first 5 minutes. However, Rob, it's still early in this game. There's plenty of time to get yourself back in it.
The crowd silent as well. We'll stand up to date with the latest USL news, information around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts. It's channel 85. It's Monday, 6 o'clock Pacific. Spencer Ritchie making his 8th appearance for Vancouver this season. They've had their ups and downs. They've been able to take down a few of the top clubs. Meanwhile, they've faltered at some of the worst in the USL as well. So they've got to try to find some of their footings here as they try to make their way into the final 8. And while we've got a lot of season left to play, Kevin, you've got to feel it's a big match for Sacramento. Being at home, you've got to pick up points.
Yeah, and we've talked about this too, time and time, or week in and week out, especially in the last 4 to 6 weeks, where these games are becoming more and more important, where you can't drop points in league play right now.
Blackwood from Ochoa along that touchline. Can Ochoa and Cheney impose their size and strength on that back line of Vancouver as Kiffey comes in hard at last touch by the Republic, a throw for Vancouver.
Another interesting lineup decision by Paul with bringing Ochoa back in, starting Kristen Cheney up top as well, and especially after the game last Wednesday. Once again, we're talking about this. Previously that week you had the Harry Williams in, you had Trevin Caesar. And that little diamond up top for Sacramento was really, really effective. And Caesar was really effective in that he was able to get in behind Salt Lake's back four probably, a dozen times through the course of the game, and was just, it stretched the pitch, made it so much easier for Sacramento, opened up the midfield for him. So interesting decision by Paul, and tactically, I want to know what he's really thinking on why he's going to bring in Sammy Ochoa and Kristen Cheney tonight to see if it's a different look.
How many tired
and
legs?
Why tactically that decision was made.
Tired legs could possibly be a factor in all this, and while it's early on.
That's a very good point. Trevin Caesar looked gassed in the 60th minute last week. Did a lot of running, covered a lot of ground, so maybe that's got something to do with it.
Sacramento has played the most amount of matches in the Western Conference USL, and they continue on. They've got a match on Wednesday, another match on Saturday, and then again you're playing Wednesday in Los Angeles on the 28th in the US Open Cup. Crowd a little quiet here at Papa Murphy's Park tonight. See if the players can increase some energy out on the field to get this crowd rolling as well. To the left side. Here comes Vancouver, already up a goal by Darren Campbell. Partially deflected. And we have our first corner kick of the night, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Coaches tonight, Rich Fagan, coaching the U18 squad before taking over this Whitecap 2 team. And Paul Buckle into his 3rd season with Sacramento. Benjamin McKendry, 10th appearance here. Did make 1 appearance with the first team for Vancouver. Strikes it with his hard right foot, in swinger, good chance for Vancouver, still in a dangerous area, looking for a handball. Paul still in the area, not cleared away.
Sacramento really lucky right there. He probably had a call for handball on both Sacramento and Vancouver. Because anytime that ball's bouncing around right on top of the 6-yard box like that, that's just dangerous for the defensive team.
But Kevin, look at the walking from both these sides right now. It's just very slow paced and
yeah, it's lethargic. The weather's got something to do with this, but still, at the end of the day, these both teams are playing in the same conditions. And who's going to be the more difficult team and the more resilient team here?
Good combination here as Caceres tries to send it forward for Christian Cheney.
You know, that's a position Cheney needs to be in. There's a little silly giveaway right there, but that's where Cheney needs to be that outlet. You got Sammy Ochoa is always going to play underneath, but Christian Cheney, I think one of the reasons why Caesar has been so effective. It's a good little ball right there.
Here's Bartman. Bartman deep into the area, low cross in. Another chance for Vancouver, and they squander it away. Break for Sacramento now as Gabe Gissy looks to Hall just behind him. Hall able to maintain it. Now Hall's going to move forward. Fans screaming for the ball to continue to move forward. Now it finally does. As Horde gets to the right side, now with Gissy. Jeremy Hall scoring his first goal on that penalty kick in a Republic uniform, and it was the 3rd goal of the night, 3rd in that first half of play against Real Salt Lake. Caceres, who scored as well. Ochoa did not play in that match. His first match, he did not start for the Republic.
I go back to this striker combination with Christian Cheney and Sammy Ochoa. Cheney's got to be the one that's given the depth. He's going to be the one, be the outlet pass that's got to make those diagonal runs into the channels to spread things out and be an outlet for your midfielders or your back 4 if they're in trouble. You got to make that diagonal run right there. It's a good example of it.
As Christian goes looking for Cheney, out comes Spencer Ritchie.
Like to see that ball be a little bit more diagonal, not as direct, straightforward, as it's easy for the goalkeeper, Ritchie, to come out and scoop. Right.
Here's Ochoa showing his size and strength. Got a shot on goal, gonna take it and makes it! And it's Sammy Ochoa with his 5th goal of the season. And Sam DeWitt couldn't get to it in time. Ritchie came out to play it in a good, strong, left-handed strike from Sammy Ochoa, and it's knotted at 1.
I tell you what, Sam DeWitt right there, just a very, very terrible play defensively for Vancouver right there. That's the cardinal sin for a defender. Just hoof it in the corner. I tell you what, Sammy Ochoa just being very optimistically thinking, goes and puts the pressure on, which you want to see your forwards doing. Just picks DeWitt's pocket majorly, gets himself into the box, left-footed finish right between the wickets of Spencer Ritchie. Great finish, great individual effort there by Ochoa, getting on the score sheet. And that's how, once again, you make your presence known. Well done by Sammy Ochoa right there, and a good finish. Calm, cool, with the instep into the back of the net.
And a little energy now pumped into Papa Murphy's Park as we are tied at 1 in the 13th minute here. It was first Campbell for Vancouver in the 5th. Now Ochoa using that size and strength. We talked about it, overpowering DeWitt there and able to get a good look on it. And what a great strike. We've seen so many times this season, Kevin. The last effort for Sacramento just wasn't there. Great shot by Sammy Ochoa.
There's so much to talk about in this one play right here, Rob. You've got the great pressure from Ochoa. You've got the poor decision by DeWitt not to get rid of the ball, trying to dribble out of the back, which is a center back you never want to do. And then also Sammy Ochoa doing a great play, putting that pressure on, picks the pocket, continues to travel with the ball towards the goal. And you see him kind of just almost like a bit of calmness before he strikes that ball with his left foot. Looks like it's almost that half a second, quarter of a second, just thought to put this ball on target and to calm yourself. And that's what you want your strikers, you want to see from your strikers, that calmness to make sure you put it on target. And when you put the thing on target, good things happens all the time. As you see Spencer Ritchie comes out, tries to make himself as big as possible, but Ochoa is able to calmly slot it between his legs. But that's a great play by Sacramento. And also, Rob, what we've talked about too, another little point here is the fight by Sacramento that we've seen 5 minutes after they've conceded goals this season. We've seen it a few times now this season, which is a great piece of character to have in a team. The resilience and the ability not to get down on yourself and to continue to fight and get yourself back into the game. And I think Sacramento's done a good job of that in the last couple of months where they have conceded and were able to score relatively quickly right after.
Well, when they score early, they seem to have some great success. So let's see whether or not they can mirror that tonight. Now the pace of Gabe Gissy going the other way. Ochoa's off to his left. He's got Cheney in front of him as well. Blackwood back post. And look at the turn of the corner from the youngster. Sends a low cross in. Blackwood just missed it by a hair. But Republic able to recover here. Third time tonight, Gabe Gissy has given Sacramento a chance.
That's a good run, and that's a good decision, too, by Gabe Gissy, just rolling the ball across the face. It's almost like Blackwood didn't believe the ball was going to get there.
Tough angle there. Ball still bouncing around. Cleared away by Vancouver.
As a midfielder or a striker, you always have to believe. You always have to believe that ball's going to come to you. You got to make your run. You got to make a crisp run. It looks like Blackwood was doubting that Gissy was going to get the ball across the face, and Gissy does a really good job on that play. Good ball there.
Finding Horde. Horde sends it down low. Here's Cheney at his feet. Settles it. Back out to Horde. Horde's going to send another one in. This one's harder and low, and it gets to Richie before Ochoa can arrive.
Tell you what, that right side for Sacramento's produced probably 4 or 5 crosses already in the first 15 minutes. You know, something to think about here for Sacramento. Play and find that right side when possible. Gissy has done a really good job, and also you'll start to see Elliot Horde probably get himself more involved in the next 10 or 15 minutes. Overlapping when possible.
What about Gabe Gissy? Really no pressure as he's filling in for Danny Barrera here. I mean, he's just playing with a full deck here.
You know, and I hope he feels that way. There's no pressure here tonight. He's coming in, though. I mean, really the one reason why he's getting minutes tonight, getting the start, is because of the suspension to that Danny Barrera just picked up last week. So tonight, I hope he can come out there and play freely and feel free to go play and run forward and go attack and get yourself involved.
Great play by James Kiffey to draw on the defense. Now it's Blackwood. Look at Blackwood go. Just in there was Sam DeVitt who poked at it. Otherwise, it would have been a clear lane for Tyler Blackwood.
I tell you what, DeVitt's pretty lucky right there. He dives in a little bit. Because Blackwood, that's where you want Blackwood, man. You want Blackwood in that situation where he's just opening up the legs and he's running at one of the defenders 1v1. Blackwood just has to be maybe a little bit better in that final third, in that final touch, whether it's the move or the shot or whatever the decision's going to be, because he gets himself in such good positions. Just got to kind of tweak that a little bit. And I tell you what, the sky's the limit for that guy if he can figure that piece to his game out.
So it's taking that pace at 100% and maybe drawing it back down to 70% right before.
Well, or go 110%. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like whatever he's doing right now, it's just he's getting himself in those good positions. It's a good opening here for
Cheney's open, going to spread the lane. Zator's going to get there and cut number 21 off.
But getting in those situations, Robs, is more than half the battle for these guys. But really, where you separate yourself as a player is when you do get in those situations, when you find yourself in the box 1v1 with somebody, you got to get something productive off. It's got to be a shot. It's got to be a crosser. It's got to be a layback. Whatever it is, it's got to be productive. And I think that's where Blackwood, where you see the athleticism that he has, but the decision-making in that final third is where I think he could be a little bit better. And it's such a fine line for players in any level on how to change things. And I think if he can change this and make it just a little bit better, I tell you, sky's the limit for Blackwood. Such an athlete.
Sacramento had a deal with Blackwood. He played with Arizona 8 goals a season ago. Good signing here, and relatively a quiet signing. It was a big splash with Ochoa and Caesar coming over, but Tyler Blackwood, the 25-year-old Englishman, was the one that not many talked about. He's had an impact so far this season, 2 goals already. Sacramento's press style starting to pick up.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's such a pleasant surprise Blackwood's been. We really didn't hear too much about him when he was signed.
Here's Caden Chung.
But he's been one of the more effective signings for Sacramento. It's good defensive work.
Bartman picked up by Kiffey and a foul on Nazim.
I love that about Kiffey, man. He's a guy that he kind of works himself into the game sometimes defensively. We saw it on Wednesday. If you're a left back, pull the tape from Wednesday and watch Kiffey's performance. I think that's something that you could watch and learn a lot from. Defensively, winning his individual battles. Defensively looked really sharp, did really well covering, good communication, and got himself involved in that attacking third. It wasn't necessarily like quickly in the game, early in the game, but he worked himself into the match offensively through his defensive work. And you kind of seen that here in the first 20 minutes of Kiffey working himself into this match. It's a silly giveaway there by Elliott. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Kiffey work himself more into that attacking third, partnering up with Blackwood a little bit, maybe that overlapping run and start serving more balls in the box. But defensively, I like to see him work himself start with the defensive work, and then build off of that.
Tied at 1 here at Papa Murphy's Park on a warm evening in Sacramento. Alongside Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister tonight. We appreciate you tuning in to CW31 or on the live stream, wherever you may be.
Well done.
Jeremy Hall fighting in the middle of the park, and Hall is called for the foul.
That's unlucky. That's good work by Jeremy Hall.
Sammy Ochoa able to tie this thing up after a goal by Campbell. Each of these teams looking to pick up points at this point in the season. Vancouver, though, it's tough to figure out what they're going to do. They've used 29 players so far. Caceres comes up, takes it away from Chung, and now Caceres with a quick tap.
Great touch.
It was a week ago that Vancouver was down in Phoenix, taking on the Rising, and it was there for Didier Drogba's debut with Phoenix Rising, a 2-1 defeat, and similar heat here. So back-to-back, I bet they were ready to get back up north. And we know what happened to Sacramento a week ago in Reno, a 2-0 defeat. Smaller pitch, a couple of good chances, and Andrew Tarbell. Here's from Christian, looking for Cheney. Or excuse me, that was Gissy.
I guess he's got to be a little bit more difficult. Can't be that easy for Toma to bring that ball down.
Andy Toma signed in the offseason. Been a good, steady presence for this Vancouver team, who's seen quite a bit of those changes in the back. And it would be along that left side, would be Declan Wynn, but he got the start for the New Zealand men's national team against Russia. Yeah. 2-0 defeat, but a great start for him and Kip Colby.
I tell you what, it's pretty cool. Go play in the Confederations Cup against Russia. You have Vladimir Putin at the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's pretty cool for him.
And it was the first match to kick off the tournament. They're looking for Cheney for this all night. Can Cheney volley it down, trying to get past DeVitt, and DeVitt just cuts him off. But Kip Colby, who played here, now plays for Reno on that squad, both getting the start today. And tripped up, holding his left ankle.
It's like he maybe rolled it a little bit.
And is that Bartman?
Might have been Chung down on the right. Maybe now.
It's fair to be Bartman there.
That's tough. I don't think there's any contact there. Maybe a little bit of a Augustine maybe stepped on his foot a little bit.
Well, they're going to play on. Vancouver starting to press forward. Republic starting to relax a little bit. And it is Nazim Bartman who's hobbling up a little gingerly on that right foot.
I looks like he just rolled his ankle. Be worse for the wear. You know, if you're a bit of a soccer nerd too, Rob, Vancouver, what they're doing right now with their academy, their USL, and their MLS team is groundbreaking and revolutionary. I mean, their new facility that they just built in Vancouver, 30 million-esque type.
University of British Columbia.
And they're going to be light years ahead of the rest of the landscape in the MLS, and obviously being in Canada, they're competing with the likes of Toronto, but something that they'll catapult themselves, and I think this will pay dividends in the next couple years for them. But they're catapulting themselves in front of everyone else in the landscape of soccer in North America with this facility that they built and what they've done up there. So really fascinating. Got Carl Robinson at the helm. He's one of my former teammates, just a great guy. And running the show up there. So it's going to be interesting to see how it can translate into results for them over the next couple of years.
Brand new facility, 7 different fields they'll now be able to use. University of British Columbia partnership there. Gabe Gissy under the right side here, getting past Homa. Hard ball center. Well, do you like breakfast? Then enter to win the Denny's Grand Slams for a year sweepstakes. You also win an autographed jersey and 4 tickets to the Republic match on Wednesday. You got to sign up immediately. SacRepublicFC.com. Warm night. The breeze is come and gone, but it's coming from the north end of the field. Typically we get it off the river there, and it's been a cooler night once you get that sun setting, but not here. Sammy Ochoa having a few words with Michael Zapata here. Sammy Ochoa now the team leader in goals scored with 5. Also a chance to tell you that Nike is the official sponsor of USL. Visit NikeSoccer.com. Little push off from Clementa, not called. Ochoa's got it. Look at Blackwood's pace along that left side. Can Blackwood or Cheney get to it? Just curled a little too much as Zator sends it away.
Yeah, Zator right there, and Richie not communicating. I think Richie probably has a chance to come out and scoop it up. But Zator elects to be safe, and it's good news for Sacramento as they now got Vancouver in a tough situation down in their defensive third. Sacramento's attacking third. Can they get something off? Something productive here.
Blackwood looking for Cheney. Backheel, Caceres.
It's Augie. He's not a guy that thinks goal first. He's a guy that's looking to pass. It's your holding midfielder. They like to see him maybe take a touch or think target right there and just pull the thing towards that back post. But still, good build-up play there by Sacramento. Good combination play, finding guys in the box and good decision-making in the box for Sacramento.
A lot of fans were thrilled as an offside call. His flag goes up. We're thrilled to see Caceres score in the U.S. Open Cup for all that he's done and for how active he is and never gives up. And he's almost too unselfish at times, and we saw it right there.
Yeah, completely. He's just one of those guys that no one's ever going to say a bad thing about him. So he's real easy to cheer for and root for. Such a good guy in the community. Great seeing him. See, there you go.
And Christian, a little over dribbling. Bartman, Christian in trouble. To the right side, here comes McKendry. McKendry's going to loft it back post. Giving chase is Thomas Gardner, who's been quiet early on here, the 19-year-old from British Columbia, homegrown player. And corner kick for Vancouver.
Yeah, Chris Christian just dribbles into trouble. So as a center back, sometimes that happens to you where you're kind of caught between the two minds and you said I'd take one extra touch, and then one extra touch turns into two, that turns into three, and all of a sudden you got someone barreling at you. So more often than not, when you get in that situation, just get the ball off your feet and go get it back. Kind of reset things a little bit.
Kendry taking his time here on the corner kick. 25 minutes going by. We're tied at 1. Vancouver struck first. Can they do it again? Good looking ball in. Gets it through. Up high went DeVitt. Now it's Gissy going to run it along the edge. Tripped up was Blackwood. He would have been gone.
That's a good job by Campbell right there. As Gissy with his left foot right there does a decent job of getting the ball, looking for an outlet for Blackwood. I tell you, Blackwood gets on the end of that. Watch out.
Sacramento with nearly 130 passes already tonight. And they are third in the USL in passes and passing accuracy. So they're one of the best teams. So you feel like, Kevin, if they can continue that run of form, the goals are really going to start to pile up here. It's just a matter of time if they can continue to make high, accurate passes and get them into that attacking third.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. Just law of averages. I think this year they've been unlucky on a lot of chances. There's been many, many opportunities for Sacramento. You know, almost tap-ins. A couple off the top of my head come to mind. Simple tap-ins that Sacramento weren't able to convert. But if you continue to play, don't get frustrated, continue to trust Paul, trust the process. You know, law of averages hopefully will even things out, and Sacramento will get more goals, as they've been doing a really good job of getting themselves to that point to have strikes on target or to be dangerous.
Zator, the 22-year-old from Alberta, first professional season. A star at the University of Calgary, gives it up there. Now look at Emra Clementa going. Emra Clementa is going to continue his run, and Ochoa goes backwards with it. The crowd displeased here. To the right, Bartman back. And pocket collapsing there, a little over the head kick from Clementa, and a foul on Vancouver.
That's where you got to be careful if you're a center back like Clementa right now. Look, he's even holding his knees. He's a bit gassed after that run. You got to be careful if you're going to go forward. Better hope no one turns the ball over, or you have some cover with Augie or Jeremy Hall sliding back and covering for you. You can get yourself caught out pretty quickly. It becomes really difficult for guys like Chris Christian and the other back three left back there to try to kind of pick up the puzzle pieces and find who's not being looked after and who is.
Emra Clementa spending a couple of weeks with the Montenegrin national team, winning as a substitute against Armenia in the win in the World Cup qualifying. Trying to find Blackwood, oversprays him here, and talked to Clementa and said, what did you take away from your time with the national team? And he said, you know what, having the ability to think even quicker. He said, I had to think 2 or 3 passes ahead of what was happening out on the field of play. And a foul is called as Christian was looking for goal. And Kevin, I have to ask you, is that as you progress, it probably only makes you a much better player as the higher you go. Is it the quicker you have to play, I assume?
Yeah, when you're given opportunities to go and play in those situations for a few weeks at a time, I mean, it's either going to work out or it's not going to work out for you. But if you're able to go out there and figure it out and play quicker and to combine with people and get the ball quicker back to you is another thing where you're playing with a lot of players that have a really high skill set. And really, when you start to think about this, Rob, at every level, whether it's, you go from JV to varsity, or varsity into college, or college into professional, or college into USL, USL and MLS, and so on, everything's just a fraction of a second quicker. And really, when you get to this level, that fraction of a second becomes a fraction of a fraction. And really, it's not that big of a difference where everyone's just about as a tough challenge there. Where what it's about, it's not about athleticism. Obviously, athleticism comes into play substantially, but everyone out here is a fit athlete. Everyone out here is, it's mental. It's completely mental, in my opinion. And I remember when I was growing up, Dave Willie. I don't know if Dave Willie's watching. I hope he is, because that's a huge shout out for Dave. I was talking about this the other day. Dave brought me out to a national team game, and he's like, he told me, Kevin, what do you see this different? I was like, I don't know. He's like, the big difference is how quick these guys play and think. And it didn't register at the point as a 16-year-old kid, but it registered 5 or 6 years later when I was either in my first or second year in professional. And I remember harking back to that Dave Willie thought, like, oh my God, it makes perfect sense. And really, that's what it is. It's not athleticism anymore. It definitely helps, a little caveat. But what it is how quick you can think, and how quick you can think in tight spaces. And that's what differentiates people. And it's great for Emra to get out in those situations, to play with those players consistently for a week or two, to make yourself better and to challenge yourself.
So Emra Clemente wearing that captain's armband, making his 100th appearance for the Republic, his second call-up to that Montenegrin national team. But USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest news and information, USLsoccer.com. Also, they are on Twitter at USL. Things have calmed down here a little bit. The heat subsiding, the excitement from the crowd, and a little bit on the field of play as well. We are tied at 1. Ochoa and Campbell each with goals here. It's Vancouver looking to get something started here. Chung to the right side. He'll cut it back in. Jeremy Hall the mark. Jeremy Hall just overpowers him. Chung looking for a call, and the 18-year-old won't get it.
Good effort there by Jeremy Hall. Good defensive work tracking back into that position right there, kind of covering a little bit for James Kiffey. He's able to kind of muscle Gardner off the ball. Gardner goes down way too soft. It's a big boys game, Rob.
Dick Gardner made 16 appearances for this club a season ago. Here's Gabe Gissy. Gissy just could not get past Caden Chung. Out of play here. And Vancouver, Kevin, has given up a couple of key opportunities, making mistakes here in that final third. But when they've had that one good look, they made the Republic pay. Came in the 5th minute.
I'll tell you what, that was a really good finish, too, by Campbell. Roofs it, puts in that top corner. So difficult for goalkeepers to save that. Goalkeeper kind of going down, trying to make yourself as big as possible. Put it up in the roof. That's well done there by Chung.
And Chung takes it off of Christian Cheney. Christian Cheney did not make an appearance with the club a season ago, was brought on from the Fresno Fuego after scoring 13 goals in 12 appearances for the Fuego. Just 22 years of age, and Paul Buckle has loved his progression in training since the start of this season. I feel like it's getting hotter out here, Kevin.
It is, man.
It is.
Tell you what, Cheney, you're bringing up Cheney here. He's just such a big presence up top. You got him and Sammy Ochoa, handful for Vancouver's back four, to say the least. But one of those guys, highly touted, the Central Valley product. I mean, everyone in the Central Valley, the Quakes as well, were intrigued by this guy. He's turning a lot of heads. But potential only gets you so far. Now you got to come out here and perform and score some goals and prove that potential. Great.
Look at Kiffey getting past Bartman here. Kiffey cutting it back one more time. Going to try to loft one in hard, looking on the backside for Ochoa. DeVitt gets to it again. Now it's Horde. Horde's going to make a good cut into the box here. Trying to turn one more corner on Toma and can't do it. And so good defending by Toma.
Toma, good defending. I think Horde, after that first touch, had a chance to just have a strike on goal. It was a perfectly weighted first touch for you to run on it and hit it with your laces. But good job by Elliot Horde, finding himself in that position to pick up the second ball. And then also on the previous cross across the goal, James Kiffey getting involved in the attacking side of things. as we mentioned, we hope to see him do. It's a good piece of skill from Kiffy. He's so shifty with the ball. He's not a guy that's going to take you on with a bunch of step overs and outpower you and outrun you. He's just a guy that's going to put a couple little dekes in, get you off balance, and he's going to wiggle his way by it. He does it time and time again. Always surprises me how skillful he is going forward.
Playing his best run of form to date in the 2017 season. What a key part he was the 2014 championship run.
Yeah, and Rob, finding that left back position, it's such a difficult position for a lot of teams to lock down and find. And you find a consistent, steady performer at the position, consider yourself lucky. You know, look at the U.S. national team over the years, trying to find someone to play that position. Good run.
Ball sprayed over to the left. Vancouver with a good opportunity here. And Newton comes out and makes the save. Cleared away by Augustine Caceres.
Great job. Great job by Evan Newton. Comes out, makes himself big, puts his body on the line right there. It's a good ball across the face of the goal as well with Vancouver. He's got plenty of guys. Looks like Kyle Gray getting himself involved.
Well, good chance here still for Vancouver.
But that's the right decision there by Evan Newton, I feel. He kind of delays his step a little bit and comes out and makes himself big. So you get another look at this. It's a great ball, great weight across the face of the goal. And Evan Newton puts himself in the one position, the only position really where Kyle Gray can put the ball in the back of the net. Good save once again by Evan Newton, keeping his team involved in this game.
Evan Newton's become a little bit more aggressive. We saw him sit back a lot more. Now he started to come out, really makes a play on that ball. Ball lofted up high. Another chance for Bartman. Bartman circles it back around. Vancouver not quite done yet, but Elliott Horde. Can Vancouver get back in time? And Sacramento slows it up. Recycling back, Kevin, has been a little dangerous so far for the Republic tonight. Well, you can follow this match on Twitter as well as Gissy continues to stay on his feet.
Square ball. It's a dangerous ball, square ball up there. Look at the counterattack it springs.
Here's Seymour. Stepping up is Christian.
You see these guys just tired. 35th minute already. I think he's definitely playing a bigger role in this than we anticipated.
Follow him here on Twitter. Sac Republic FC, hashtag SACVVan. 35 minutes gone by. You're right, Kevin. Did a completely different style of play that has happened here because, I mean, it is still holding at 97 degrees. The wind has died here at Papa Murphy's Park, and I think this may be the second most hottest game, I should say, in the history. Atlas FC a couple of years ago may have been the warmest, and we started a little bit early that night. The sun was beating down the field for half a play, but it is a warm one here at Papa Murphy's Park. Take that pizza, probably cook it right on the grass here tonight. Here's Kiffy looking, work his way in the middle of the park, lets it slip through to Blackwood as Ochoa. Ball still being volleyed around, and now being aggressive is Hall. Tied at 1. Campbell struck first in the 5th. Ochoa came back in the 12th. Campbell has been very active tonight, number 61. 8 appearances a season ago. He is really making his mark in 2017.
I love what you brought up earlier, too, with Vancouver, how they've played every formation you can think of. Good chance to recycle second balls here. They played every formation. They've got different guys cycled up from their academy. You got guys from USL going up to the first team. Kind of the potpourri, if you will, of all sorts of different sort of ideas and thoughts. And that's the thought that Vancouver's going with. And what's such an exciting time in U.S. soccer right now, where you have these USL sides, especially for the MLS teams, their reserves essentially, where no one knows how these things are going to shape out. And the game's evolving right in front of our face right now.
It's gotten much younger. Pace is starting to pick up technically.
And you have other teams. You know, take LA, for example. Here's Kiffy going one-on-one again. Shifty Kiffy.
LA Galaxy, too, have struggled this year.
But look at what...
Here's a big loft, and Spencer comes out, topples over Gabe Gissy, but good for Elliott Horde just to go for it there.
But look at, what LA's done with the amount of players that they've brought up from the Los Dos side. Dribbling out of the back again for Vancouver, causing trouble for themselves. Bringing players up, and now they've had a pretty significant shift with Bruce Arena leaving. and bringing up a lot of players and struggling a bit this year, but still, like what they've done is they've really tried to nurture these players, you know, through the course of 2 or 3 years and then bring them up to the first team. They've done that and had some pretty good success. Stairs is a good example as well. But Vancouver right now, I mean, it looks like they're trying to figure things out. But the exciting thing about it is that the game's evolving in front of our face right now. No one knows where it's going to be in 5 years. No one knows what's going to happen. You got USL talking about a 3rd division as well, USL 3. I mean, there's all sorts of things at play right now and variables in play. But what's exciting about it is this game is evolving in front of our face. And I hope the fans can appreciate what we're witnessing and what you're watching, because in 10, 15, 20 years, we're going to look back at this time and, you know, remember when the game was at its infancy here in the USA? And you know, really cool to see and interesting to see how each team is approaching these things differently.
RSL has put a lot of money into their academy programs as of late. They continue to have academy shops down in Arizona as well. Here's Chris Christian to spray it up over the top, looking for Blackwood. It'll be a throw as Andy Toma got a last head to it.
You know, another interesting little tidbit to this game. You've got Blackwood and Gissy have flipped sides. And after we talked about that right side for Sacramento.
Ball lifted way high, curling away from goal.
Good second ball. What good position to be, Kiffy.
What can Sacramento do here? Here's Ochoa. It's got a little bit of room. He's going to wind back and just take a big shot. And it's deflected to Jeremy Hall. Quick touch again. As the Republic trying to find some gaps, as we've now seen Vancouver put 5 on that back line here. Trying to find Blackwood, poking it through as a tour. Almost seems that Vancouver shifted, looking to spring some counters, Kevin, as they're not able to break free in that traditional 4-4-2.
You know, I think they would like to think that's as conscious of a decision it's, that you're calling it. I think, honestly, it's just they're tired and hot right now. They're sitting back, get out of the half, try not to concede a goal. If you can, spring a counter, spring a counter. But I think Sacramento's had the majority of the possession, too, and that just kind of gradually will bring a team, you know, back into their own half, if you will. But interesting to see how Blackwood and Gissy have flipped. I wanted to finish that thought. It's the success we've seen on that right side by Gissy. It's too direct.
Looking for Cheney.
What a
Cheney
touch.
gets a touch to it. Spencer Ritchie with a nice save to come off his line and pick it up out of the air.
Yeah, you typically see that that straight ball with the straight run. Typically doesn't work there, but Christian Cheney right there almost pulls out something miraculous with a really good first touch over his shoulder there. But you like to see that ball either angled or that run angled to be more successful.
Quick touch from Clementa. Tonight's match brought to you by Nike. Sponsors the entire USL. More at NikeSoccer.com. Tower Bridge Battalion still pounding the drums out there in the north end of the field here. Trying to keep this crowd into it. It's a warm night. Got another warm night coming up on Wednesday, Kevin, against Rio Grande Valley, and they're used to the heat, so there'll be no advantage here.
Pretty sure it's only getting hotter.
108 this week. The bugs are starting to come out as well.
Good touch.
Vancouver looking to spring something here. Getting behind Kiffy is Bartman. Bartman lofts it in, slipping and falling. Vancouver not able to convert here. Headed away. Can Gabe Gissy take it upfield? And a foul is whistled out in the middle of the park on Will Seymour. Check out USL and the USLsoccer.com. Up to date at USL on Twitter. Sator's been very busy here tonight. First professional season, making his 5th appearance for the Whitecaps 2 on the year as Declan Wynn is out. Andy Toma moves over. Can Sacramento put one in the back of the net here in the final moments of the first half? It's tied at 1. Gabe Gissy shielding, looking to take a turn here. The Chung cuts him off. And tough call there for the Republic. That should have been a corner kick.
I still want to see Gissy just be more decisive right there. Get your head down. go quickly and get your service off. Seems like he's not trying to be, he's not decisive enough. Waiting for Chung to make up his mind for him. Well, you want to see your attacking players make up their own mind and try to execute.
Going back and forth between these two clubs. Ochoa breaking here. Ochoa looking to get a shot on goal. Can he get his second goal tonight? Brought down the box. No foul called against the Republic or against Vancouver, and Sammy Ochoa cannot believe it. Sam DeVitt taking Ochoa down deep in the box, and now Vancouver looking to spring the other way.
Yeah, that's a risky play there by Sammy Ochoa. I think DeVitt is definitely holding right there. You see Sammy Ochoa do a little Cruyff back across, and there's a hold by DeVitt. And Sammy Ochoa doesn't need to go down right there, and that's where I think where Sammy Ochoa definitely feels he's getting pulled and has a case, and I agree with him. I think that probably should have been called for a penalty for Sacramento. It's unfortunate for Sacramento right there, but really I think DeVitt gets away with one.
He just got away with Holden Cheney there as well, as this thing's getting a little sloppy on both sides, as both sides now screaming for Michael Zapata to blow the whistle at some point here. And now Paul Buckle is going to hear, or excuse me, Matthew Buckman's going to hear from Paul Buckle on the sideline as well, the fourth official. Stay up to date around the USL. Tune in to Channel 85 on Sirius XM with Coast to Coast and Mike Watts, 6 o'clock Pacific time.
You see Sammy Ochoa out there talking with Zapata. Some sass. You know, I think Sammy Ochoa's got a legitimate,
ball driven hard,
legitimate argument there for a penalty.
Gabe Gissy. Too heavy of a touch, and that is the whistle. So the first 45 minutes is in the book. We'll go to the locker room tied at 1 apiece. Sammy Ochoa, Darren Campbell, each getting in the books here. It's a warm night in the capital city. 97 degrees at kickoff, and it stayed warm here in the River City. We'll have your halftime stats and highlights coming up. Don't go away right here on the CW 31.
With a competitive rate on a home equity line of credit from US Bank, you could open up a whole new world. And we'll be with you every step of the way. US Bank, the power of possible.
Go small. Get big. It's NorCal Honda Dealers Go Small, Get Big sales event. Get big-time features and performance in the fun-to-drive 2017 HR-V. Big value. Named a 2017 U.S. News Best Car for the Money. Big safety, rated 5 stars from the NHTSA. At really big savings.
I love living small.
See your NorCal Honda dealer today.
Murphy's Law says if you have ingredients for chaos, chaos will happen. Papa Murphy's Law says if you have a pizza made right in front of you with ingredients like scratch-made dough and fresh-grated real mozzarella, peace will reign at dinner time. Murphy's Law of, uh-oh. Papa Murphy's Law of, oh yes. Tonight, home bake a large signature Hawaiian pizza, just $8. Papa Murphy's.
Welcome back to Papa Murphy's Park here on a warm night in the capital city. Alongside Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister. We are tied at 1. As let's get to our halftime stats. Kevin, you look at it, Sacramento's owned the possession. Right now, we're not at 1 apiece.
You know, even the stat we're not seeing here is Sacramento passes they've had. In the first 20 minutes, I took a peek at it. It was like 125 or 130 passes, which is a big number for Sacramento. And I think that kind of continued through the first half. But really, at the end of the day, the only stat that matters is the score stat. And it's 1-1. I think Sacramento did a really good job fighting back, staying strong, and getting the equalizer.
Sacramento has been dominant when they've owned the corner battle. They don't have that tonight here.
Yeah,
but you know what? It's been the style of play, and that attacking third. What needs to change?
I think for Sacramento, they just need to stay positive and move the ball quickly. Once you start to deal with this heat that we have here, move the ball quickly and make Vancouver work.
All right, it's a warm night, but they've got another 45 minutes left to play. We got a good one here. Sacramento, Vancouver, knotted at 1 right here on the CW 31.
Here's what people are saying about the service and selection at the Roseville Auto Mall.
Great service, great cars, everything about them is amazing.
We came in and we didn't feel like we were getting pressured into buying a car.
We did get a very good deal here.
We sat down to make a deal and it was painless, and that's what I like about being here, it's painless.
I like the selection here. You have a wide range of vehicles in a small area.
We've been coming here for probably 15 years, and the experience has always been very positive.
The Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
With your busy life, wouldn't you love one place that has the freshness of a farmer's market and more club sizes than a club store, and the local and organics you want and supplies for your party with prices up to 25% lower than supermarkets? That's Smart & Final. Everything you need for every meal and really cool stuff you just can't find anywhere else. Now, Farmer John fresh pork spare ribs are $1.49 a pound, and 2-pound packs of strawberries are $1.99. Smart & Final, now with 20 area locations.
For centuries, few have been brave enough to face the Riptide until now. Golfland Sunsplash is home to Riptide, the 6-story raft ride everyone's talking about, with an adrenaline rush of thrills, chills, and fun. Don't miss Riptide, along with the 6-story freefall on Double Dare, plus Thunder Falls, Master Blaster, and Storm Rider. That's over 30 rides and attractions for the whole family, only at Golfland Sunsplash in Roseville. Get your online savings today at golfland.com.
Here we are, our eyes wide open. We see the road ahead. We're part of something bigger. We're the dreamers, the heroes, the ones who change our communities, build our cities, are passionate about compassion. There are more like you here than unlike you. So take hold and see yourself in the present. See that vision unfold among others. Redefine the possible. Redefine you.
Good day. News, traffic, weather, and this.
All day.
And this.
Here we go. Oh, yeah. You realize that's my truck. Okay.
And this.
It's not weird if Darwin puts his face and mouth on your ears. It's only weird if you like it.
And this.
You guys, the gelato strike is here! Yay! Yay!
Good day. Every morning on CW31.
Oh, snap.
Every truck guy has their own way of conveying powerful.
Yeah, boy. Kind of looks like a monster coming to eat you.
Holy smokes.
That is awesome.
Strong. You got the basic and you got the beefy.
I just think it looks mean.
Incredible.
No way. Getting goosebumps.
Get 17% below MSRP on all Silverado 1500 LT pickups in stock. That's over $8,100 on this Chevy Silverado. See your Northern California Chevy dealer.
Wiener Schnitzel finally has das Schnitzel. Wiener Schnitzel now has das Schnitzel.
Das gut.
2 Kaiser Schnitzel, 3 Liter Leber.
Das gut.
Only at das Wiener Schnitzel. Das Wiener Schnitzel.
Das gut.
Schnitzel is bringing you 3 all-new chicken schnitzel sandwiches. Classic ranch, bacon, guacamole, and barbecue bacon. Wiener Schnitzel, that's awesome.
Papa Murphy's Park is the site of this USL matchup between Vancouver and Sacramento. We appreciate you tuning in on the CW31 tonight. Alongside Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister. It is a scorcher of an evening as the fans got the fan going on their faces as well. Trying to cool things down. Well, let's heat things up here. Let's get to our halftime highlights here. And checking it out early here, NorCal Honda highlights early on. Sacramento with a good start. They were aggressive, but defensively looking good as well. Got the save, Evan Newton. And then all of a sudden, Vancouver in the 5th minute, wide open for Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell, great finish too. Get a good look at it, puts it in the top corner, right in the roof. Roofs the goal, wonderful finish. Great opening 5-6 minutes for Vancouver. But really, what I love to see is what Sacramento was able to do to fight back and get this goal to equalize this thing 1-1 with the Vit just mishandling the ball in the back, and Sammy Ochoa slots in the back of the net to equalize at 1-1.
And it came in the 12th minute. Sammy Ochoa, his 5th goal on the season for the Republic. And Sacramento and Vancouver would go back and forth again, but the big one from Ochoa was that strike. Took a good angle on it and able to find that back of the net. And then looking the reaction here, you just felt a little off. Spencer Ritchie knew he got beat there. Going to have a probably talk with his back line. As a lot of close chances. As again, coming back, not done yet. Vancouver comes up big. Evan Newton again.
Great save by Evan Newton. Comes out, makes his body big, puts himself in the right position, times it really, really nicely. Keeping his team in the match, which is fantastic for Sacramento. And that's what you need your goalkeeper to do, to come up with a save or two like that every game to keep your squad in the game.
And things got a little sloppy for the final few moments between these two teams. You feel like heat was starting to play a little bit of a factor. Kevin, how do they ignore this heat here? We'll talk about that coming up, is that they've got to get over this 90-degree temperatures we're having here. So let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. Match on Wednesday, Rio Grande Valley is in town. And then coming up, you got LA on the road, so a couple of good opportunities. You got Rio Grande Valley ahead of you. You got Los Angeles below you. Good chance to pick up some points.
Yeah, leapfrog. Got to try to climb that ladder. And I'd say it again. Right now is the point in the season where you cannot give up and leave points on the table. You got to get a push right now. It's almost July. Before you know it, you're going to be at the end of August. And you don't want to be saying shoulda, coulda, woulda with these games. This stretch right here at home.
Take a look at our Western Conference standings here. Well, Real Monarchs of Salt Lake City and San Antonio right at the top with 33 and 31 points. Colorado right there, but all these other teams, Kevin, with that 15 points to 20 points, they're all in that range. They're in that 3rd spot.
Yeah, it's tight. There's a big group right there where I think Sacramento would need to start pushing to get some distance to try to, get out of that pack of middle-of-the-table teams.
Well, at the top of the Eastern Conference, Louisville, Charleston, Tampa. Big surprise after coming from NASL. They're right in the hunt as well. And we'll see what things shape out. But both conferences have some top heavy hitters. Got a lot of teams between that 3 and 8 spot that are going to be in the hunt as well. So be right back here June 21st. You're going to want to enjoy this one here on a Wednesday night. Come out and root on your boys in the Old Glory Red as Sacramento takes on Rio Grande Valley. The Toros back again for the 2nd time this month. And Republic looking to get another result against the boys in orange. So Sacramento here tied at 1 apiece with Vancouver, as this is a night where it started off hot, it continues to be warm. You're Paul Buckle, you're fighting a little fatigue. As a coach, I know you want to ignore that, try to not make the heat an issue. But Kevin, it is an issue. We're starting to see it out on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, I think you don't bring it up. Tell your boys to get some fluids in you at halftime. Also know that there's been a tough stretch of games with a lot of games in the last couple weeks, and you got more games coming up. So you got to start thinking about fresh legs. And I think we talked about earlier. That's probably why you see, Trevin Caesar not playing today, Harry Williams not playing today, and maybe getting them ready for getting 30 minutes tonight and then move forward on Wednesday. But it's definitely going to be a thought. I hope Paul's not making it a big deal. Everyone's dealing with it. Everyone's playing in the same temperature, same weather. Just how can you be better?
So Vancouver, without their leading goal scorer in Marco Bustos, who has 4 on this season, Darren Campbell steps up tonight, now has 2 on the year. After not scoring and making just 8 appearances a season ago, you got to feel like he's a bright spot for them. How big of the loss is Marco Bustos to this team tonight, who's up with the first team?
It's a big loss to get, lose your playmaker Bustos, but really you've got guys that should come in here and fill in nicely for him, and that's really what this what Vancouver wants to see is these younger players come in and fill those shoes nicely, get out and contribute. And I think you saw that tonight from Campbell. I think Campbell's played pretty well. Obviously has the nice goal, can be a little bit better. So we'll see what happens here.
We're gonna have a couple of substitutions as well, and we'll get those for you in just a moment. But you look at Campbell, just 18 years of age, making his place known. Kyle Gregg, the oldest member in the starting 11 tonight for Vancouver, 26 years of age. And so youth is going to be a big movement for this Vancouver team. They're trying to get ready. As for the MLS side, MLS, they're 5th place right now, 19.61 and 6. And they're right in lockstep with San Jose and Seattle in the playoff hunt. So for Vancouver, they're probably also looking for some guys who can contribute late in the season, I imagine.
Absolutely. The deeper your team can be, the better off you're going to be. So it's important for these players to come out and perform and show that they deserve and they can go out there and hold their own and they're not going to be a liability on the pitch, and that's part of this.
Well, Sacramento tonight, it's holding on 87 degrees. Fans are cooling themselves off here at Papa Murphy's Park as the players make their way back out on the pitch. What did you like from Sacramento in that first 45?
I like the resilience. I like the way they fought back. I like to see Evan Newton getting that save, keeping his team in this match with a big save, putting his body on the line. But what I want to see is I want to see him move the ball in this weather and this heat. If you can move the ball 1 and 2 touch, and it's a big ask, but it's way more enjoyable to work with the ball than without the ball. And if you're able to keep the ball and move it quickly, it'll become really difficult. And I tell you what, momentum, energy will just be absolutely sucked out of Vancouver, and I think you can just play him off the pitch at that point.
Sacramento with a big victory on Wednesday night, a 4-1 win over Real Salt Lake. U.S. Open Cup play continues on June 28th in Carson, California, just south in Los Angeles there against Galaxy. Well, the Galaxy have not played well so far this season, Kevin. How much of an opportunity does the Republic have to go in there and move along to the 6th round?
We talk about this every week, too. It's a great opportunity, but at the same time, it's also a great opportunity for LA to right the ship, and they're thinking the same thing. We kind of saw that with Salt Lake last week, and I think we obviously clearly came out on the better end of that with a 4-1 victory. But I think LA is probably thinking, this is a great opportunity. Let's right the ship. Let's get our guys back in. Maybe give a couple guys an opportunity, put some pressure on the players in front of them, and get a result and kind of get things on the right track. But it'd be a good opportunity for Sacramento, man. You go down to LA, you're going to be playing on the track field there. You're not going to be in the big stadium under the bright lights, but still a great opportunity to play against MLS sides and prove yourself and prove the type of player to whomever is watching on who you are.
So we will be able to have Danny Barrera back out there as well. So again, if you're just moving back in there, Danny Barrera is out because of a suspension, a late hard tackle into Dane Kelly in Reno. So he is out tonight. Gabe Gissy has filled in. Here's take a look at what happened here tonight. Darren Campbell in the 5th minute. Big open look. Gissy not able to get back. Slots it home, and then Sammy Ochoa came back. Got a goal of his own, and that's what Sammy Ochoa is in there for. Come back, make a difference, use his size and strength. He did that against Dubai.
Yeah, I think you saw it too. He kind of just took that little moment, that half a second, quarter second, if you will, took a deep breath, got his head up, calmed himself, and slotted it on target. Finds the wickets of Richie to equalize things.
So we do have some substitutions to tell you about for Sacramento. As you talked about him, Kevin, not getting the start, but he's coming in at the break here to maybe add some pace, get things going up top. Trevin Caesar is now into the match for Sammy Ochoa, whose night is over. And then Daniel Trickett Smith is now into the lineup for the Republic as he replaces Gabe Gissy. What did you think of Sammy Ochoa and Gabe Gissy in that first 45? I thought Gissy was fantastic along that right side.
Yeah, I think Gissy started off really well. I think towards the end, he kind of worked his way out of the game, especially when that switch happened where he came over on this left side. He was really effective on the right. But I would have liked to see him probably keep the ball a little bit better on this left side when he came over here. Be more of a possession-type midfielder when you need him, because it's so difficult through the course of those games, especially with the heat, to lose the ball once or twice, and it just kind of spoils the things for the squad. So a good effort, though, by Gissy tonight. Like to see him get out there and got a run, did some good things.
Well, USL is one of the most prominent second division in the world. featuring some of the game's top talent. Of course, these rising stars, we're seeing many of them here on display tonight. Keep up with the latest news and information, USLsoccer.com, also on Twitter at USL, and we are ready to play the next 45 minutes here tonight. Vancouver, Sacramento, the capital of California. Alongside Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister. We are knotted at one. Ochoa, Campbell, each with goals. Ochoa now out of the game for the Republic. And now here we go as Vancouver will go to the north end of the field. Quick touch, Seymour going to left it up over the top as James Kisby drops down.
All done by Jeremy Hall.
Along that left side, Daniel Trickett-Smith, and now he funnels into the middle of the park. Cheney's going to look for him. Dink up over the top, looking for DTS.
It's a good chance here for Daniel Trickett-Smith. Hasn't really seen much time, much action this year so far. I think a bit of a disappointment, to be completely honest, with the skill set that he has, to not seem featured more. But a good opportunity tonight to come out here and prove, Paul, that you belong. And the skill that he has, man, he's so good on the ball, so good going forward. Great decision maker with the ball. And a player that I think could really be beneficial for Sacramento if he can find his way here.
Just 21 years of age as McKendry moves forward. McKendry's going to loft one into the box. Clemente gets back to it. Now Hall looking upfield. Hall's going to spray it up over the top. Is he onside? Caesar is, and he'll track it down. No numbers. What a late call, and the entire crowd can't believe it. We can't believe it up here.
Just letting everyone make the whole run back. Make sure you run the play out linesman. Good job. Just pull your flag up, my man.
It's too hot for that tonight.
But I tell you what, that's what you see. That's what Trevin Caesar is out here to do. What I think when he's most effective is when he's getting in behind like that and making those runs. And everyone knows that he's got pace. Everyone on the Republic knows he has pace. So just put it out in front of him, let him chase it down, and use that asset to your advantage. And when he gets in behind, it's so dangerous. It opens things up for everyone else, opens it up for the midfield, gives them more time.
Trevin Caesar has been fantastic in Open Cup play. 2 goals, 2 assists. He has 1 goal, 1 assist in USL play. And after the game, he made remarks, and he said, you know, this is what I was brought on to do. I'm starting to get the playing time. I'm starting to see the success. And he feels he continues to get these minutes. He can have a big impact for this team. Just a great job here against Toma. Now he's deep in the air. He's going to chip one over the top. Looking to try to get over Spencer, and Richie picks it up.
That's a good job. That's what we talked about. Trevin Caesar getting in behind. It's a good chance here also for Vancouver to break.
Here's Campbell, who has a goal early on in the night. His second on the season.
I think that final pass, though, let him down a little bit. It looks like he's trying to drag it across the face and just doesn't get good contact on it.
Trying to send a ball through was Caceres, looking for Caesar.
But he had 2 runners. So he did Daniel Trickett-Smith as well as Christian Cheney, kind of slashing right towards the front of the goal.
Let's go back to Caesar's decision there. If you're Caesar, how hard is that not to try for goal or wait for a cross? If the guys aren't making runs, you've got to split one or the other.
I think there's runs there. I think it's an easy decision. That angle's way too tight for you to think that you're going to have a strike on target, or at least have a good probability of getting it past Spencer Richie. So I think if you look at his body language too, immediately when he saw that come off his foot, he raises his hands to his teammates saying, hey, my bad. Meant to pull it across the face. Just his final touch lets him down a little bit. But gets himself in a good position. Once again, in behind. You see the pace, that little 5-10 yard burst that he has. Causing fits, I think it might have been Thomas, just able to get in behind him, get us on his shoulder almost.
How does he combine here with Cheney? How do we make this work?
Well, it'll be interesting to see who plays up top and who plays kind of like the withdrawn forward striker role. I think I'd like to see Caesar play as high as he can, play on that last man, and then let Christian Cheney kind of roam underneath. And then when you have that ability to stretch the field, I'm telling you, it makes it so much easier for Christian Cheney to give him more space and find himself in that hole in front of that back 4. But it all depends on how well Sacramento can utilize Caesar, Trevin Caesar up top. So let's see if he can make those runs.
Here's a short corner. Chick-fil-A bringing this corner. Campbell deep into the box. Anyone in? Jeremy Hall clears it away. Daniel Trickett-Smith popping up high. Cheney moving it forward, looking for Caesar, stepping up is Seymour.
Sacramento caught sleeping right there. Not mentally tuned in.
There's Kyle Gregg. Play with OKC with a left foot. It's going to send it into the crowd. Guy holds on to his drink at the same time. That's some skill there. Kyle Gregg, 1 goal in the first 6 of 7 appearances for Whitecaps 2 a season ago. He did not have that great start that they were hoping he would have. Played with OKC, played Wilmington as well. trying to find a pathway to MLS. 26 years of age. You got to feel like that window's going to start closing for some of these guys, Kevin, if you're not getting some looks on that first team.
Yeah, there's an age bracket where you start to you start aging out of that bracket, become less and less likely that you're going to make that or take that leap or be given that opportunity to take the leap in the next level.
Seems to me that both teams still trying to figure out what's going to work for them. Here's DTS. DTS, good looking ball to Cheney. Just a little too high as it sailed on him. Blackwood not giving up on it. Sacramento with a throw.
It's a good job, but Daniel Trickett-Smith putting good pressure on the ball, winning it, getting his head up early, and finding a good run there by Cheney. And a good left-footed ball service and just a little bit too high.
Ball's probably going to sail tonight with the warm weather as well. Nothing to drop it back down. The changes we've seen from Sacramento in that back line. We've seen James, we've seen Clementa when he was gone. And Christian's been there night in and night out. Didn't start the season because he came back, thought he'd give Europe a go. He's been steady ever since. This one's kept along the ground, easy for DeVitt to pick up.
I really didn't have too much anyways in terms of runners in the box for Sacramento. Kiffey right there. Sacramento did a good job, settle things down, pick up the second balls, and continue to attack. It's another big piece of this puzzle for Sacramento. Can they continue to win these second balls and not let Vancouver have an easy out? Good ball.
Looking for Horde. Toma gets to it.
Second balls. Huge in these moments, especially with this weather tonight.
Trevin Caesar, a little bit of space. Thomas Gardner, just 19 years of age. A lot of teenagers on this team cutting it off. Daniel Trickett-Smith showing his pace. Smith looking for Caesar. Caesar's got a window! Saved by Ritchie. A follow-up by TTS is too late. Vancouver able to escape that one, but not out of the woods quite yet as recycling it back goes Caceres to Kiffey.
I don't think Ritchie knows too much about that. Catches him right off the cheek, it looks like. Good run.
Good ball in here, looking to Cheney. Pops it high, it's going to be Blackwood with a big swing on it. Easy for Spencer Ritchie that time.
Good ball going back to that. That's a good ball in by Daniel Trickett-Smith. DTS is in a good position. Finds that little kind of withdrawn, peeled off run by Trevin Caesar towards the near post, and Trevin Caesar gets it on his left foot and just smashes it with his instep of the left foot. Good strike on target, and Spencer Ritchie puts himself in a good position, makes his body big. Looks like he takes it right off his eye. You probably got a good look at it, but a good strike and good build-up by Sacramento. Unlucky not to get that ball in the back of the net.
Well, in the book tonight, it'll say save, so that's all that matters for Spencer Ritchie tonight, who leads the team in saves.
Tell you what, the momentum's really going in Sacramento's way right now. You got to find a way to reward yourself and capitalize when the momentum's going your way as it is right now.
It's been a good spark with DTS off the bench so far. Turnover there. Sacramento's had the opportunity. Just the spacing not quite there in that final attacking third tonight.
Poor turnover right there.
McKendry to left side, Campbell. Campbell can't get to it.
Keep it going. I think, you know, if I'm Sacramento, if I'm Paul, keep the foot on the accelerator right now.
Well, we saw them come out so aggressive against RSL. Not many fans were expecting to see that. We were maybe sitting back waiting for the counter. And give a lot of credit to Paul Buckle and Trevin Caesar, them up top. They went right at the throat of RSL. Resulted in a 4-1 victory on Wednesday night.
Lots of passes right now. It's good movement by Sacramento.
Looking for Cheney. Cheney in stride. Good from DTS. Just a hard swipe across the face of the net as Spencer won't even make a play on it.
Nothing to be frustrated with right now. This is a wonderful build-up play by Sacramento. One touch through the middle of the park. Find a streaking run of Christian Cheney. A really good run, kind of peeled off. Just the final shot right there is Cheney. That's the spot you want to miss, by the way. You don't want to miss to the near post. You want to pull it across the face, and you saw Caesar on that back post right there, kind of crashing just a little bit too far But good build-up play by Sacramento, moving the ball quickly. It looks like Vancouver's just gassed right now. So I want to continue, keep that foot on the gas if you're Sacramento, and keep pressing.
Cheney knew he had an opportunity there, not able to convert.
That's a tough angle, too, by Cheney. To put that thing in the back of the net, have to be something really special.
Probably feels a little bit better of an angle than it actually is. When you're looking, zeroing down on that net.
I like the mentality, too. That's your striker. He's thinking one thing right there. Doesn't even need to look to see if anyone else is crashing that far post. I want to see him have a strike right there, and he does.
Here's Andy Toma, the center back, coming all the way up to that left side. Can play that left and right back position. A very versatile defensive player for Vancouver. 2 years with the Timbers, 2 before. Campbell getting a little fancy with it, draws a foul on Emra Clementa.
Emra just a little bit too aggressive right there. Maybe work your feet a little bit more.
Emra Clementa, 100 appearances with the Republic, 76 USL, 8 goals total. As you remember, in the old glory red here at Sacramento.
Something for Vancouver to kind of try to sneak one against the run of play.
Here's McKendry. Lofts one in. Gets past Christian, looking for DeVitt into the stands. Vancouver had a great chance there.
McKendry, really good ball in. Maybe he just sails on him a little bit more than he'd like, but DeVitt's got a good chance right there. He's kind of unmarked in the back post. It looks like there's another runner kind of peeling off behind him as well. So Sacramento's got to be careful. Against the run of play, you get a set piece like that. That's where you really got to check yourself to make sure you defend well.
Only a handful of spots remain for next week's summer camp, brought to you by the Sacramento Republic, June 26th to 29th in Land Park. Learn more, register at sacrepublicfc.com. Horde, good hold there by Trevin Caesar. Trevin Caesar still fighting, goes down, whistle blows. A foul is called as Michael Zapata will signal Republic ball. Without Danny Barrera, it's interesting to see who's over on these set pieces, as it's really quick in. They're not wasting any time, as Augustine Caceres has been on these set pieces here.
You see the wickets. Trevin Caesar finding some wickets there on Campbell. It's always fun. Hang your hat on that a little bit.
Sacramento with 14 goals on the season. They're 20th in the USL right now. Christian slowing things down off the shoulder of Thomas Gardner. Close to a handball. Got away with one. Stepping up is Kiffey. No whistle blown. Cheney moving forward. Trying to split the defense here. Looking for Caesar in the box. Sent it out. Was a tour.
A lot of guys watching Christian Cheney right there. Looks like him and Trevin Caesar kind of talking a little bit about what run should be made right there, what's expected.
Sacramento Republic just outside the playoff bubble here. They need to pick up points at home. 3 would be highly beneficial to work their way back up into that top 4 discussion, as Real Monarchs in San Antonio running away with this thing so far. And they're going to be tough to beat. Just a single loss between the 2 of them right now. Both teams just not able to really find a groove here tonight at Papa Murphy's Park. Blackwood wanted to foul from behind, won't get it. Campbell's looking now the other way. Jeremy Hall continuing to fight.
This is one of the better defensive efforts I think we've seen by Jeremy Hall this year so far. It's one of the guys that does not look affected by the round. There's a good run right here.
Trevin Caesar picking up pace, gets past the Tor, gonna turn the corner. Now he's got open goal. Can he get a shot off? And he sprays it across the net as well. Was held at the last moment. Cheney was asking for it, and Caesar didn't see him, and a little bit of disappointment from both.
It's never a good thing when your shot goes out for a throw-in, Rob, but still good work by Trevin Caesar stretching the field. Tries to dip in behind Zator right there. And does a really good job. It's just he's got a little bit of a...
I don't know if he had Cheney. Cheney thinks he's more open than he probably is there. Here's a good ball from Vancouver. Clementa's got to get to it. Christian's got to clear it away, and quickly does.
It's well read by Emra Clementa right there.
Still in the high 80s here at Papa Murphy's Park. We've gone an hour. We are tied at 1. Campbell and Ochoa, the goal scorers tonight. Ochoa was subbed off in the half. Was replaced by Trevin Caesar. Gabe Gissy was taken out. Daniel Trickett-Smith was brought in. Still 3 substitutions for Vancouver tonight. Maybe looking for a late surge is Rich Fagan. Republic have 1 more. Jeremy Hall will have to relace his boot.
And the strikers help over here.
Kevin, you've played some matches in Houston, the humidity and heat. As a player, how are you trying to fight through it?
You just grit your teeth and bear it, man. I mean, just drink as much water as you can without getting too bloated with it and get through the match. There's nothing you can really do. Just try to tune it out and tell yourself everyone's fighting the same thing, playing in the same weather.
Too heavy a touch from Blackwood there. Pass coming from Clementa.
And I always took it as like the runner's mentality. You know, I can endure more pain than the guy I'm playing with. Like runners think, you know, I can endure more pain than the guys I'm competing against. Just kind of comes down to how bad you want it.
Well, the heat not affecting the Tower Bridge Battalion tonight. Remain loud on that north end. Good ball over the top. Campbell just couldn't get to it. A better defensive play by Elliott Hoare.
And the Battalion, now they're earning their stripes here tonight.
And we have our first substitution coming up on the way for Vancouver, and it'll be David Norman. And that chance is coming now, as it will be a surprise. Campbell coming off. That's going to be a bit surprising. The lone goal scored by Vancouver tonight, but maybe the heat has been running a lot.
He looks gassed right now. I think it's just a matter of heat playing a factor once again.
So David Norman, academy player since the age of 9, 19 years of age. Signed his first professional contract in January. A star at Oregon State after 1 year. And Vancouver said, come on back home. He's in the game now for Darren Campbell, who scored the game's first goal in the 5th minute. Vancouver just looks a step slow tonight. Sacramento take advantage in this heat. Well, the old Glory Red, the boys will be back. CW 31 at Papa Murphy's Park when they play Rio Grande Valley Wednesday, June 21st. Kickoff is 8 o'clock, so right when the sun goes down. Cool off before the match. 20-ounce beers, just $10 before kickoff. Buy your tickets today. SacRepublicFC.com is where you get those. Being held is Cheney. Buckle wants a call, won't get it. Now he's going to send it up along the touchline for Blackwood. Blackwood's got some great pace. Blackwood is screaming, hoping for a foul, won't get it. It will be a throw for Sacramento. It's not going to be a throw for Sacramento. It will be for Vancouver instead, and Blackwood's beside himself.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how that happened, how it played out. I think it's really good play, hold-up play by Kristen Cheney, by the way. Does a really good job. Strong, he's got a guy crawling all over him.
We saw some good touches from Cheney tonight.
That's what you want. Cheney's got the size and strength to be that type of player, but you don't typically see that sometimes, or sometimes you don't see it when these guys are big and strong. They don't utilize that well enough.
Hall looking to cut things off. Now Hall's going to get a little bit of chase. I mean, a little pressure here from Sacramento. Neither team really pressing high tonight, as this temperature might be affecting the style of play from both sides. As that ball sails out of play, Vancouver to throw here.
I think you saw Sacramento had a really good run, a good start to the second half. Things kind of cooled down for him a little bit. Vancouver still isn't getting much going.
Gardner, top.
Announcer's curse right there. But haven't really had much success going forward, and Sacramento's done a good job. But they need to keep the pressure. I think, keep the pressure up. It's easy to say from up here, too. Plus, you got to think about it. Sacramento's already used 2 of their subs. You got 1 left, 64th minute. So some things to be concerned about in terms of energy levels for the guys. Got another game coming up this Wednesday.
These teams have drawn 2 times here, or 3 times, excuse me, back-to-back scoreless draws. They've broken that, but Sacramento owns the advantage 2-1-3 overall. McKendry broken up by Emra Clementa. Can Sacramento get something going here? Looking for Caesar. Caesar lets it throw, but slips and fall. He would have had a wide open chance at Spencer Ritchie had he been able to stay on his feet.
Really, really lucky by Zator right there. fully commits, and Trevin Caesar does what he needs to do, just kind of gets his body between the player and the ball, and is unable to keep his balance. But if he keeps his balance, he's going 1v1.
Here's Andy Toma, the 24-year-old. Played at the University of Washington. Drafted 24th overall from Timbers. Kyle Gregg looking to get in the conversation here in the attacking third. Vancouver just a step slow, and here's Blackwood behind Blackwood. And you know Augie knows he's got to get that one running forward.
You know, you got Trevin Caesar yelling right here. Trevin Caesar is 5 yards offside, which is unexcusable for him. He's standing there, sees the line right in front of him. There's no reason why you should be calling for the ball. In fact, you need to get yourself onside. If you're calling for the ball and you're in that situation, you're killing the run of play. You're killing the build-up. Love seeing him on the last man, but he's got to be a little bit smarter, I think, in that situation to find himself onside.
Very hard to see what Vancouver's tried to do. A lot of different formations, a lot of different attacking, push from behind. McKendry goes down. No whistle blown. And David Norman getting one of his early touches on it.
Yeah, Norman's looked good coming in. He's kind of settled things down. He's picked up a couple second balls, spread the ball from side to side. Good substitution by Vancouver. Norman's been effective.
Vancouver deep now. And that is out of play. Goal kick coming up. The CW1 is 31, I should say. It's home to the most fun and informative shows on television. You know it each and every day. As Good Day Sacramento. We need news, traffic, weather. You also want to hear about that dog competition, maybe some of those latest viral videos as well. Well, tune in to Good Day. They kick things off every single morning at 4:30 a.m. Another substitution, the third and final for Sacramento, as Christian Cheney's night is over. So Paul Buckle using all three of his substitutions in that attacking mode as he goes first with Caesar and Daniel Triggett-Smith, and now Harry Williams will replace Christian Cheney. Overall, how'd you feel Christian Cheney performed?
I think a pretty good effort here tonight. Did well, connected, linked up with the guys. Obviously might feel bad for himself for not getting a goal tonight. But overall, I think a pretty good performance that he should go home and feel pretty good about and build off of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, two good chances. As Horde runs it off of Thomas Gardner. Horde and Gardner have been going at it pretty much all night now.
Tough ball for Chamry to deal with. It's a good job.
David Norman has been an X factor so far for Vancouver, who still has a couple of substitutions left underneath their belt. Here's look for Trevin Caesar. Trevin Caesar lets it come to him. Trying to get past DeVitt now with a good move. Cutting it back. He's got Williams to his right. Now it's Daniel Triggett-Smith who's going to try to dribble in quickly. Misplayed by Williams. Sacramento not done yet. Horde's got a big look at it. Goes for goal. Saved by Ritchie.
Good decision there by Elliot Horde. If Vancouver's going to keep backing off, take your space, get your head up and have a crack, and has a good strike. Almost catches Ritchie's near post, but Ritchie's up to the task and saves down. It's a good save to his left, punches away for a corner kick, but good job by Elliot Horde. Kind of picks that ball up, keeping the pressure on, keeping the attack on, which you like to see those guys, your outside backs and your midfielders, step in that position and intercept those balls.
First Chick-fil-A corner kick tonight for Sacramento, and it's James Kiffey. James Kiffey, hard ball, front post. It was looked for Clementa for a moment as Clementa tried to get to his feet now. Now Clementa's moving fast on it. Trying to figure out what to do, finding Kiffey. Back to Clementa. Clementa looking for some space. And it seems that they can't get something going here. Kiffey again. Another great move. On Gregg, backheader, pops it away. Sent away now by McKendry. Republic with another good look back in. Spencer Ritchie gets to it.
I got to get back, but that's good work. Get your big guys, get your center backs back. But Kiffey, once again, just shifty enough, man. I mean, can't say enough about how good he is 1v1. Does a good job, gets his cross off, and Harry Williams almost pulls off the spectacular.
Didn't try to do too much with it. Ball just a little bit off the place there.
You get a look at this. Just Kiffey just catches. Vancouver just not defending well.
Here's Caesar again. Comes back for this one. Chung going to be the mark here. as Caesar's looking for some help. Goes to the middle, and a great job by Chung to push him where the defense can help him out. And way offside, easy call there for the side judge here. Well, fans, stay up to date. The latest USL news and information around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts. That's Mondays at 6 p.m. Western Time. SiriusXM Channel 85, USLsoccer.com. More information if you want it. Foul is called on Thomas Gardner out in the open play here as Harry Williams.
See what they do here. It's a good chance here to kind of set something up if they want.
And now a substitution coming up for Vancouver when they get a chance. Ball sent in hard, looking for Williams.
Good ball in by Elliott Horde. I like the pace on that. Driven hard, had some runners.
Greg able to somehow poke it to Norman. Just a sluggish game between these two sides.
And I've been pretty impressed with Sacramento here in the second half, though, Rob. I think it's been sluggish as a handball right here. Linesman's calling it. Get the ball, get on the ball, Sac. But they've looked good here in the first, 20 minutes or so in this second half. I think they've been dictating the pace of the play. They've been attacking well, had a couple decent chances. But the thing is, can you capitalize when you have these runs in these momentum sets, if you will?
Well, it's Daniel Trickett-Smith to take the set piece here. Was one that would find himself over the ball when he first signed with the Republic halfway through last year. Came from the Liverpool U21 squad.
Just want to curl this right to in between probably the penalty spot and the 6-yard box.
He's going to loft this one in, looking for Christian. Christian lets it go, and Christian hoping for a foul. Will not get it as Christian felt like he was pushed. You got Blackwood also asking for one on that backside.
It's a great ball in.
Yeah, he got pushed. You can see the arm extension from Vancouver in the back.
Still think Christian probably, even with the foul there, I think he still needs to try to, has the ability potentially to get his head on it. Looks like the push might have come just after the ball passes him.
And so Kyle Gregg's night is over. Thomas Sander will replace him. Sander with 2 goals on the season, looking to make a difference here in this one as we are in the 73rd minute. Tied at 1. Campbell and Ochoa, who scored the game's only goals, out of this game as each manager now trying to find some offensive firepower off the bench on a warm night in the capital city. DeVitt able to step up.
Yeah, Daniel Trickett-Smith's got to know. Trevin Caesar always wants that ball in behind, rather to defeat.
Comes near side to Toma. Toma moving forward. Back heel, finding Gardner. Williams going to give a little bit of chase here. Looking over the top, looking for Sander. Sander gets it to his feet. Now it's McKendry. Sander's got to peel off. McKendry offside. Saved by the whistle. Sacramento lucky Sander didn't have a one-on-one chance going against Evan Newton.
Emra just committing right there. Realizing he way overcommitted. At that point, you're chasing. So fortunate for Sacramento, offsides call.
And there you see Sacramento has dominated this second half of play here, getting the better chances, Kevin, but all it takes is one play and everything can change. Here's Blackwood, who's been quiet in this second half. Can he get back here? Gets past Toma. He's going to look for a teammate, sends it down low. Caesar gets to it, cleaning up is Caceres! Augie Caceres! His first USL goal, second on the season. He got one on Wednesday night. And red-hot Augustine Caceres makes this game 2-1.
Really good play by Sacramento. Starts with Blackwood on this right side. Does a good job to get into that final third. Serves the ball across the face. A little bit of pinball, but also take a look at Trevin Caesar as well. What a wonderful layoff there to find himself involved. Gets it, just taps it down as Augustine Caceres is just following up. And a simple, good strike by Augustine Caceres. What a wonderful layoff to the strong left foot of Augustine Caceres. but a great layoff by Trevin Caesar right there. Well done.
And how about Blackwood? Talked about Blackwood. You know we can beat just about anyone in the USL. He gets past his man, settles it down for a moment, able to make the perfect pass.
I tell you what, too, and to be rewarded once again, I think with the good play that Sacramento's had for the first 25 minutes here, to get a goal, take the lead here, and really Vancouver hasn't had much to say here in the second half in terms of ball, of getting forward and having solid, good play in Sacramento's attacking third, while Sacramento's had the majority of the possession, so good to see them rewarded. But can they continue to defend for the last 15 minutes?
And can Sacramento keep the attack on? Here's Trevin Caesar going for goal. Cut off Andy Toma. Gets back just, no, excuse me, that is going to be Zator who gets back just in time. Trying to find some answers. Here's McKendry out in the middle of the park now. To his right foot, just a heavy touch, and Sacramento will take that as it's not able to be played by Thomas Gardner. And another substitution, and this is the final substitution by Vancouver here tonight, as the officials' book is not working properly, and there it finally goes. So that is the final substitution, and it's Gloria Manda into this match as he takes out Thomas Gardner.
I think Sacramento, you got to keep the, oh, it's a great ball.
Is he onside? Flag stays down. Trevin Caesar trying to turn the corner on Zator. Sees it in play. Anyone there? Nobody. Home for Sacramento.
Trevin Caesar, wonderful ball by Emerald Clementa, and that's what you see. Trevin Caesar is so dangerous, always playing on the last minute. And that outlet pass from one of your back four players turns into a great entry pass in behind Vancouver. But Trevin Caesar's got to do a little bit better. Well defended by Zator, but I think Caesar, you'd like to see him just make your decision, have a strike, or keep the ball.
And what a great pass from Emerald Clementa to find Caesar.
You know, a really good opportunity to kind of stretch this lead here.
Going to try it again. Why not? Vancouver keeps it in play. A little bit of a silly play by Vancouver as Harry Williams now finds it at his feet. He's along the touch line. And good play coming back from Gloria Amanda. Gloria Amanda, just 18 years of age, 2 goals on the season, making his 12th appearance. Has come on now for the 7th time as a substitute, as a late game changer. Can the youngster from Alberta, Canada, find some heroics here for Vancouver, who finds themselves down by a goal on the road? Augustine Caceres makes it 2-1 moments ago, an assist from Tyler Blackwood. The Bring It Home initiative continues here for Sacramento. It's all about crossing the finish line for MLS. Go to sacrepublic.com, bring it home for more information. And stadium plans and just about everything related to this club moving to the future is laid out before you, the fans.
Good ball movement still by Sacramento. I like to see these little 1-2 passes, even if you're not necessarily going anywhere. I mean, it just, as a player, when you're defending it, it either lulls you to sleep a little bit or forces you to think more and makes you tired mentally. But love to just see, no stagnation with the ball. Good step there.
Blackwood. Horde trying to get to it. A sliding tackle by Zator. It'll be a throw for the Republic.
It's so much more attractive and more beneficial to move the ball back and forth like that, even if it's a 5 or 10 yard pass, as opposed to someone taking 2 or 3 touches to get to that point. It just shifts everyone, makes the opposition's back four move and breathe and step and drop back.
And especially in a night like this, a little bit warm.
So that's what I'm saying, like move the ball quickly. Move the ball quickly, whether you're not necessarily going anywhere. So Vancouver's looking to go quick, which I like to see for them. Sacramento's got to be careful not to get caught. Good step back, well done.
McKendry slipping and falling as Blackwood cutting him off.
That's a good foul.
And
coming back, slow things down a little bit. Sacramento's got to be careful, not throwing too many guys forward. So Vancouver's obviously chasing here. They've got 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes or so to do so.
Ball sent in hard. Amanda can't get to it.
Work your feet.
To the left side to Toma. being marked into the area. Broken up by Sacramento. Harry Williams looking for some teammates. Hall switched to the left. Daniel Trickett-Smith came out on fire as a substitution. Now here's Trevin Caesar looking to turn on Zator. Harry Williams will make a run. DTS with a shot on goal and a diving save by Spencer Ritchie.
So there's a bit of technique that I love seeing from Daniel Trickett-Smith, and that's what the guy possesses right there. That ball rolling back to you, it's kind of coming across your face a little bit to strike it with your instep on target, trying to beat Spencer Ritchie. I don't think Ritchie is super difficult for him, but still, he's making a diving save, grabs the ball, so good save by Ritchie. But love seeing that technique. That's what I'm talking about, Rob. When I say you got to hit target in those situations, that's a tough ball to hit with your laces on target. But a good work there by Daniel Trickett-Smith. An even better build-up play by Sacramento. Side to side, front, back out to the other side, through to Trevin Caesar again.
And had a moment to sit there and get a good strike on it.
And makes a good decision. Trevin Caesar in behind.
DeVitt sending it in. Amanda, left shot.
But really, that's what we need Trevin Caesar. That's where he's most effective. If he can get in behind and still hold the ball up and drop it back to one of the trailing runners, as he does right there.
Stay up to date. Latest USL news, coast to coast with Mike Watts. Mondays, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific here. Sirius XM, channel 85. Don't forget, they'll also air the USL Game of the Week. A hard sliding tackle continues to play on here for Vancouver. USLsoccer.com, where you can find more information about those shows. Sacramento will get it back here. About 9 minutes and some change here from Papa Murphy's Park. Tower Bridge Battalion trying to will the Republic to a victory here, a desperate need of 3 points here as they've had their struggles. The last win coming against Tulsa in USL play. It was a victory here at home. Here's Trevin Caesar. He's got the pace to beat that back line, cutting it through. DeWitt and Zutar come up on him. Now it's Harry Williams. Got a wide open look. 1-2 heavy of a touch. And it's Spencer Ritchie who comes out and makes it difficult for Harry Williams. No shot on goal.
That's great job by Spencer Ritchie, reading that heavy touch by Harry Williams. But what a wonderful opportunity for Sacramento to put this game to bed.
Yeah, they're going to counter McKendry to the backside. Looking to make something open is Sanders. Sanders sends it back to the middle of the field.
It's Harry Williams, that touch is just way too heavy. But what a wonderful opportunity, like I said, to put it to bed. So you have basically a 3 on the goalkeeper, 3 on none, essentially.
Sacramento's been able to get time and time again behind that back line. Spencer Ritchie's come up and made a couple of really good saves here for Vancouver tonight.
And you know where it starts for me, too? It's Trevin Caesar causing fits for Vancouver's back 4 and 5, committing 2. It looks like DeVitt as well as Zator. And they end up colliding, going down, and Harry Williams is there, but just can't figure it out. Can't even get a shot off.
Give you a little trickery to keep it in play here for the Republic. Sacramento trying to hang on here in the final moments.
I got to be careful here. You got to think really compact lines if you're Sacramento.
Elliot Horde is going to be offside. And flag goes up.
Caesar, if he just angles that a little bit more, Rob, I think that's a really good run, and he's got a good look. Just like to see him be a little bit more thoughtful with that run.
Vancouver not done quite yet. Ball sent in. Looking for Amanda. Coming to clean it up is Toma. Toma with a good chance at it. Ricochets off of the Republic, looking for a handball in the box, won't get it.
That's how quick things can happen here. So, you know, you only got a 1-goal cushion here. I see Paul getting really animated here, and I agree with him. I think the squad needs a little bit of a boost here.
Blackwood comes up defensively to make something happen. Here you start seeing that back line, including Toma, getting a little bit more aggressive. And look at Tyler Blackwood. The hustle is appreciated by this crowd here tonight. It's Blackwood who has an assist on the night, finding Augustine Caceres for the game winner so far. The assist was given to Caesar, but now a chance for Vancouver, headed in, could make this 2-2. Another opportunity into the arms of Evan Newton. Somehow that did not find the back of the net, and a disappointing run of play for Vancouver. The fans here in Sacramento will take it.
Evan Newton, I tell you what a huge moment in this game, and what a wonderful save by Evan Newton. Just delays it, makes himself big, takes the collision. Is worse for the wear, obviously. He's still kind of nursing something. But great job by Evan Newton, reading that ball across the face, makes himself big, and knows a challenge coming, knows some contacts coming, and still is able to stick his neck in there and makes a really good save. And that's twice tonight I think Evan Newton's kept the squad in the game. So kudos to him. What a wonderful save here in the 85th minute for him to come up big.
A save as big of any here, as Sacramento now still holding on a 2-1 advantage. Nearly tied it was Vancouver a moment ago. USL, one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the league news, USLsoccer.com. McKendry, good right foot, back post, looking, here comes Kippy to come play it up, down low it goes, Christian to the foot.
You know what, Vancouver's doing a good job continuing to fight here.
Still not done. Here's Norman, big swing with that left foot, out comes Evan Newton, who keeps it in play and saves it from a corner kick.
Hey, big play right there. I mean, that's one of those little things. Realizing that he's got to get over there to save that from a corner kick, keeping the ball out of their defensive third and just advances things. Well done by Evan Newton so far. Really, two really big plays for this game in the last 2 minutes.
How big is that? Evan Newton has come up big. Sometimes your outfielders get a little bit lackadaisical. You're starting to get worn down. It's 90-plus minutes is nearing. And Evan Newton coming up big, saving his club here. Trevin Caesar, can he break free? Trevin Caesar gonna go for goal, just missed it to the left.
Good effort there. Well done using his body, shielding DeVitt. Just pulls that strike just a little bit too much, but a good effort there. I think the entire stands, everyone in the crowd knew that shot was coming.
Not able to keep it in play is Zator. Throw for Sacramento here. Fantastic look for Trevin Caesar, not able to get it to go. It remains 2-1 here late in this one.
Yeah, start thinking about taking the wind out of this game if you're Sacramento. I mean, obviously a few minutes left, but I think they've kind of kept their foot on the gas, and now Vancouver's actually turned things around a little bit, had a bit of a change of momentum, but now they need to worry about slowing things down, take the momentum out of this game. When there's stops in play like that, take your time, take as much as you have.
Caesar, backhead, looking for Blackwood. DeWitt back. Substitutions finally for Vancouver, starting to make a little bit of an impact here. As Sander, Norman, and Amanda all in the thick of things. McKendry has come on to play better in the second half here. A couple of good looks for his teammates. Not able to put one in the back of the net. Campbell did in the 5th minute. Sacramento's come from behind in this one. Ochoa in the 12th. Cleared away here, Emra Clementa. Trevin Caesar picked up his 3rd assist on the season. Ball sent in. Here's Daniel Trickett-Smith.
Good ball.
Finding Harry. Harry can kill some clock here. Harry tripped up
Gotta
from
be
behind.
stronger.
Here's Norman. Norman, quick touch to the left foot.
Well
Sacramento
done.
looking to play a little keep away. Trevin Caesar looking to break. Trevin Caesar able to get to it. DeWitt just somehow goes down to his knees. A hard tackle. And Seymour goes in hard, and he's going to be shown a yellow card. That's the game's first yellow card of the night, and it comes in the 89th minute.
It's well done by Harry Williams, trailing that play, and really good by Trevin Caesar as well. But DeVitt just does a really spectacular defensive play, but Harry's able to pick up that second ball or gets in the position just a little bit too quick for Vancouver.
The captain for Vancouver, Sam DeVitt, has had a very busy night dealing with Ochoa, Cheney, and now Caesar here. He's been running back.
Highs and lows for him, too. Obviously, completely caught out at fault for that first goal for Vancouver, but been very active here in the second half. This is where you start killing games right now, Rob. This is where these guys got to learn to kill this game. Got a couple minutes left to move the ball, take as much time as you need. It's like a couple minutes of stoppage time, probably going to be added, maybe 2, maybe 3.
We haven't seen a lot of stoppage of play tonight. It's moved quickly. Very few corner kicks, just 4 all game.
This is where possession is so massive for you.
Sacramento going to play a little keep away here in the final moments of this one here at Papa Murphy's Park. And we're going to have 2 minutes of Gilmore Services stoppage time. When you need a dependable Sacramento HVAC company, trust Gilmore Heating and Air. Christian wide open for McKendry. McKendry settles it down. Poking it away is Chris Christian, gets a huge ovation from the crowd here at Papa Murphy's Park.
Still got to move. You still got to move when you have the ball. So many people walking around for Sacramento. It's a good run.
Looking for Caesar offside. And I want to remind you that yellow card was brought to you by McDonald's. Promote good sportsmanship like McDonald's does each and every day. 90th minute here, 2 minutes of extra time added between Vancouver and Sacramento. The second meeting of 3 here this season between these two clubs. The first was a scoreless draw. The Republic looking to pick up a win here. McKendry and company showing some good signs here as of late. Ball lofted in. Clementa.
Both it.
Caceres going to send it down. Finding Caesar. DeVitt. Here's Seymour.
I'd like to see your striker hold that ball up. Kill the game. Allows Vancouver to continue to retain possession and have one more go here.
Amanda, the youngster who has 2 goals on the season. Easy play for Jeremy Hall. DTS keeps it in play. DTS is going to move forward up the touchline. DTS continuing to go. The crowd now into it. Can he get it up? Did he stay onside? Flag goes up. Crowd can't believe it.
Trevin Caesar has 2 or 3 so far this game.
Crowd none too happy to say the least, and a yellow card by Trevin Caesar. That yellow card brought to you by McDonald's comes in the 90th minute. Trevin Caesar is reaching out, and that's rarely where it got called. His feet are behind DeVitt on that final play. One more chance here likely for Vancouver. Can they knot it up late? Sacramento's got to try to kill the clock here as Norman comes up. Set up a hard challenge, and that will only take more time away, and Sacramento will take it.
That should kill it for the evening for if you're Sacramento, if you're smart with this.
DTS going to take a long time to get up off that pitch. Sacramento with 15 points. A win here tonight would put them at 18 and right back in the thick of things in the Western Conference table.
Put this thing in the corner.
Sacramento is our home is the chant from the Tower Bridge Battalion here in the north end of the field. Kiffey launching it. That's the whistle. That's 3 points. Sacramento continues their run of form. A big win on Wednesday against RSL in the Open Cup. Here tonight, they take down the visiting Whitecaps 2-1. It's a steamy one in Sacramento. Kevin, they've got another one coming up on Wednesday. Can they keep this run of form going? We'll talk about that and more coming up after the break. Sacramento wins this one against the Whitecaps 2-1 right here on the CW 31.
Energy connects us to our communities, to each other. As your community-owned electric service, SMUD is committed to clean energy and technology that's good for the environment. That's why we're championing electric vehicles. We're providing a rebate and discounted charging rate when you purchase or lease a new plug-in electric vehicle. Let's connect energy, transportation, and our community. Learn more at smud.org/drive-electric.
There's a place that brings together teams of world-class problem solvers. Here, they save lives at a moment's notice, restore sight to those who otherwise would not see, empower those facing immobility to live active lives. Through teamwork and bold innovation, they confront the toughest medical challenges to make the world a healthier place. UC Davis Health System.
When you're ready to buy a house, a mortgage from US Bank could help make it possible. And a dedicated financial partner will be with you every step of the way. See about pre-qualifying today. US Bank, the power of possible.
Welcome back to Papa Murphy's Park, a celebratory evening here on a hot night that started at 97 degrees. And on the video board now is a tribute to Emra Clementa, who has played his 100th match in a Sacramento Republic uniform here. And so we'll get a little bit more about Emra Clementa in a couple of moments here. But let's get to our NorCal Honda final highlights here. As Kevin Goldthwait, it started off and you felt the aggressiveness of Sacramento again, but early on it was Vancouver one more time, the opponent striking first, getting that goal in the 5th minute.
Yeah, Vancouver came out pretty strong, got that early goal, a couple chances to a good save by Evan Newton earlier through the legs of Chris Christian, but a good finish by Vancouver to get things going for a 1-0 win.
And there goes away, and then it would be 7 minutes later, it'd be Sammy Ochoa coming up big, takes it away, using that strength, using that size, slots it home to the right side.
Yeah, really good finish. You see the calmness I mentioned earlier, just the calmness in that play, which I like to see. Ochoa just slots it with the left foot, picks DeWitt's pocket absolutely cleanly, and punishes them for it. And a good goal to equalize things. And good to see Sacramento stay on their front studs and not go down and get sorry for themselves and equalize things 1-1.
So 1-1 as they head into the break. They'd come out, they'd stay aggressive. The heat starting to affect both teams just a tad. You felt that the pace wasn't quite there, the sharpness wasn't quite there, but give a lot of credit to Sacramento. They stayed with it, and you had Tyler Blackwood fighting with it, sends it in. Caesar let it go back over. And it's Augustine Caceres, second straight game, he picks up a goal.
Yeah, Augustine, it's good work by Blackwood, good work by Sacramento in the box. Trevin Caesar finds the lagging run, or the delayed run, if you will, by Augustine Caceres, and Augie just blasted home with the left foot on target. Just say time and time again, love to see Augie get on the score sheet, and a wonderful performance by Sacramento. 3 points, roll into the summer with a good roll ahead of steam here and momentum.
All right, 2-1 the final here. Let's take a look at your final stats here. And as we look, possession won by Sacramento tonight. You had a couple of good looks from Vancouver in the late, but they just did not take care of business where they needed to. They got the goal early on, not able to do things, and Sacramento really up and down on the score sheet.
Yeah, no quit by Vancouver. So, I mean, they got something to go home to hold their heads high. Made it difficult for Sacramento to put this game out of reach. Sacramento had a couple chances between Trevin Caesar and Harry Williams in the last couple moments as well, but still, good effort by both squads tonight. Sacramento 3 points, wonderful to get going as we got another one on Wednesday.
And here, take a look at our Zoom image of the match. It was warm out there tonight, Kevin. There's no doubt about that. 97 degrees.
It's warm up here, Rob.
It's still hot out here in the high 80s here. One of the warmest games we've played here tonight, no doubt about it. And man of the match tonight, it's going to go to Emra Clementa for his 100th match here with the Sacramento Republic. And even though he didn't really get on the score sheet tonight, you saw a couple of goals from 2 different Republic players. Absolutely, round of applause for Emra Clementa.
Yeah, I mean, really special. You know, you get your 100th appearance anywhere, it means something. So, I mean, he's one of the, I think he is the first guy in Sacramento history to have that 100th appearance. So, kudos to Emra, getting himself in the record books for the Republic, and I think there's not a more deserving guy and such a good steward for Sacramento and for the Republic.
All right, well, coming up on Wednesday, Sacramento right back at home again against Rio Grande Valley. Don't miss that one. Kickoff at 8 o'clock, and we'll be on the broadcast as well. CW31, the home for just about every single one of your Republic matches this season. So a great partnership with them, and it was a great night, Kevin. And go home, maybe rinse off, jump in the pool, whatever you got to do. But it was a great one here as Sacramento picks up 3 points. They now have 18 on the season, and they get right back in track in the thick of things. Can they keep the momentum going? We'll have to wait and see until Wednesday and then again on Saturday. And it's a warm night, but a fun night for the Republic. They win 2-1 over Vancouver. I want to thank everyone from Behind the scenes makes all of this possible. For my partner, Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister. Have a great night, everybody. So long.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.